was it like to be buried by the beanie? This is Top with Mix Taiwan.
How are you?
Did you see the latest numbers?
We broke the entire internet thing. You go big or you go home.
Ty would tell you he did it all, which is as crazy as believing stuffed animals are gold.
Did you see the truck crash?
Insane.
Poor beanies.
First of all, I would like to say you are always the perfect person to encourage people and say, may the odds be ever in your favor.
May the odds be ever in your favor.
And this aligns perfect for this role too.
Yeah, I felt so too, yeah.
And even the directors and writers said that you are perfect because you share a lot of similarity to the characters, right?
I felt very connected to Robbie on like a really deep level, you know. Both I'm working class. She was very working class, very ambitious, but, you know, living in a man's world, having to sort of be a supporting player, which I felt I was for a very long time, underestimated by a lot of people, you know, looking for a mentor that was never there, really trying to, and then frankly, having to figure out how to make a system that was not made for her work for her, and overcome also the sort of narcissism of a man she thought she could trust, who was manipulating her and who broke her trust and who took her entire sense of self. How did she build her life back from that? So many people wouldn't be able to. I just loved the fire that lived inside of her that kept driving her to reach her potential.
This has always been my company.
Company we created together.
Why do you have to be so dramatic? I mean,
My salary's been reduced 75%.
yeah, I'm just doing what's necessary. You know, running the real, actual business over here.
When we came across this book that Zach Bissonette wrote about the craze, we were so amazed at how many things we cared about were contained in this story. Beanie Babies are an absurd and funny thing that happened. You know, it's insane that people just lost their minds over tiny stuffed animals for 3 years and treated them like gold, but it really serves as this colorful backdrop to a kind of deeper story that we cared a lot about the women behind the phenomenon, the female relationship to the American dream, what and who we value culturally, and how we sort of got to where we are now.
Have you considered poisoning him? Countless times.
Women always, often the underdog for a man's successful story. So did you relate to any situation like this, and how did you turn the odds be in your favor?
Oh, I think my entire journey in Hollywood mirrors this story. You know, I was a supporting player. I don't play, I mean, I'm not the lead character in this movie either. So I think, you know, how I overcame that was I started directing and producing and creating my own work and taking control of my destiny. I think, you know, if I left my destiny in the hands of others, I would just be waiting for the phone to ring, and that's just not who I am, and it's not who Robbie is. And that's for sure a connection point between me and this character.
You have the power to create your own future. You can be anything. You can do anything.
You know, Zach, you are one of my favorite comedians, but in this film, it's totally a brainwash to me. I never see a Zach like you, like Taiwaners.
Yeah, I mean, it was a different type of character, I guess, in a way. I mean, still quirky and a bit odd, but in a different way. I mean, he had to be a business leader.
Everything good that's happened to me is because of you guys. We are bonded forever.
So how do you prepare for this role? It's completely different from the project you previously did.
Wasn't much to go on. I mean, there was a book that was heavily researched. There was also, but the tricky thing is, and I've said it in the other interviews, is I'm not much of a mimic. I'm not good at copying how someone, so that in a weird way was an advantage to me, that there wasn't any tape on him, barely any print interviews.
Oh.
I found what I could find. I mean, the book I read a couple of times looking for those kind of personality quirks, and they were in there. I just really was based it on a kind of an insecure ego. I think a lot of people that have a lot of bravado or show-offy or dress to the nines, there's this outward confidence, but there's this, so oftentimes a core that's shaky. I kind of went off that a little bit.
You want to sell high-end stuffed Himalayan cats.
Understuffed, actually, for greater posability.
We're professionals. We're giving the people what they need.
Did you collect any Beanie Babies when you were a kid?
There was nobody in my family did any of that. I knew of people that were collectors, and it was definitely in the ether back. We avoided the Beanie Baby craze.
Why did you avoid it?
I don't know. It didn't seem sustainable. It just kind of seemed trendy.
You can see a lot of Beanie Babies on set. Did you bring home any? I mean, what was it like to be buried by the Beanie Babies?
They are really cool. I think we had like 10,000 of them or something on set. You know, I brought home a couple for my kids, and then we all got a special commemorative bear we shot in Atlanta. It's a little Atlanta bear, and it was like the commemorative, like just for us, Beanie Baby, yeah.
Genius is 1% inspiration, 99% presentation.
And did you have the opportunity to talk to the family of Warner? Maybe talk to Ty?
I mean, I tried to go to his hotel to watch him. I was just going to go hang out in the lobby and see if I could see him. But I didn't get it. I never got a chance to do that. The pandemic struck, and I never got a chance to do it. Strangely, though, I used to work at the Four Seasons in New York where Ty Warner, I used to be a busboy there. I don't think I ever saw him then. The odd thing is I used to work for him, which is kind of weird. And it didn't even really dawn on me till the other day. Oh yeah, because I had a very illustrious busboy career in New York. And I would go to the finer places to busboy. And for a week, I worked there.
Wow, and 20 years later, you portray himself.
Then I end up playing the guy yeah, it's very strange, yeah.
This film really resonates with what happened right now. For example, the NFT and stuff, you know, the crypto, the story share, the fashion ideas, what happened to us today. So is that one of the inspiration that you make this film?
It as a particularly absurd and interesting and funny example of a pattern that happens over and over. And so, you know, we wanted to explore this idea of bubbles and people falling for something and then it being too good to be true and how that relates to sort of the myth of America and larger issues that we can all kind of connect to.
I'm gonna go. You're dead to me!
It is a wild, fun ride about a historical moment in time that you will not want to miss.
Great. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Good to see you sending your parts from Taiwan.
Thank you.
别忘了订阅我们的频道，打开小铃铛就不会错过任何精彩内容，随时上架。我们下回再见。